What is happening, troops? Welcome back to OKG and welcome to the first episode, or should we call it episode 0, in the CCL, which is the Creators Community League. Now, usually I would be doing some more hosting videos, being a little bit unbiased, and that'll be what we're doing going forward. But for this video, I want to tell you how great my specific team is, taken up from a couple of different creators who've done this as well, and I want to tell you why we are going to win the league. And after this episode, we'll be unbiased, we'll be impartial, we'll pretend my team isn't the best, but for this one, we are just going to explain exactly why we are the greatest team that has ever existed and been ever assembled, and why age is just a number in football. So, we have our team here on the left hand side, and what I'm going to do in this episode is I'm going to go through each player and I'll discuss why I picked them, and I'll go through it in the order in which they were drafted. Now, if anyone doesn't know what the CCL is, you'll see if I can figure out how to do it. The little suggestion in the top right hand corner, I believe it is. I'm a professional YouTuber now. I use all the tools and skills, and if it's not there, this is going to be cut out anyway, so you'll never know that I failed. But yeah, so we're going to look through it in the order that I picked them, or at least the order that I think that I picked them, because it's been a couple of days now. Mine's a little bit foggy on it, so we'll see if I even get it right. So the first pick that I made, which would be a surprise to no one, except everyone else in the draft apparently, is I picked Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, Ronaldo, I got him around, I think it was like the 9th pick, and I could not believe that he was still free up until that point. We saw the Mbappe's gone, we saw the Messi's gone, and Ronaldo was just sitting there wondering what he has done to offend every other person in the league. Well, apparently, you haven't offended me. You're getting in my team, which, by the way, I didn't introduce it, is the Oblique Ramblers. Yes, that's taken up my name, combined with the Cove Ramblers, the team that I play my journeyman, and we are now going to be this powerhouse in this league, I tell you, for a fact. But Cristiano Ronaldo is my first pick, and really, it kind of goes without saying. It's Ronaldo. He's just great at absolutely everything in the game. We'll jump onto his profile for a brief second, and you can just see the guy is an absolute powerhouse, even at this age. He has all of the skills to finish it, to cross the ball in. He can bang in the free kicks, the penalties. He has a fantastic mental, so he's going to be able to be a real solid person for the team. He is our captain, so he is going to be able to make a difference in just being able to show that leadership and be able to show that determination and get all the team on side. Now, I am looking to play him up front. I'm not entirely sure if the assistant manager agrees with me. I have a feeling he's going to be playing out in that left wing, but you'll see as we continue through the team why that would be unfortunate, because he's definitely made for up front in the team that I'm going to be going for. Now, I got a bit of flack for everyone in this team, and it was because of age. We will do a breakdown of all the teams, and we'll look at things like the average ages and who's picking the tallest players and stuff. So I won't go into that too much in this video, but I did get a lot of abuse off everyone about the age of the players, and I would just like to make a statement right now to all of them that you are going to be really sad when your kindergarten players are not performing because they have no experience, no skill, and the old guys who have all of these trophies behind them are showing them how it's done. Your players have pictures of my players on their wall for a reason, ladies and gentlemen, and you will be losing and you will be eating crow by the end of this series. Now, moving on to the next pick, I picked Salah out on the right hand side, and everybody knows how good Salah is as well at this point. Another player that kinda goes without saying how good he is, and basically I'm thinking my whole tactic with the team is I want to be extremely solid at the back, so I really want to make sure we're keeping possession and we are holding down the back line really strongly, and then I want the attackers to just kind of have that creativity to do what they want out there. So I want players that I don't really have to worry about and I know are going to be consistent, and that's why we've got Mohamed Salah up there. I've got him in that inside forward position, so when we bang the ball out, I'm hoping he's going to be quite a big part of the transition between getting into into the box. We lay off the ball to Salah, he runs into the box, either he bangs in a goal or he sets up Ronaldo. Either way, we are laughing all the way to the bank. Just looking at Salah's stats as well, he's able to score goals, he's able to run, and a big part of this is his off-the-ball ability. That's going to keep us so open to be able to send him that pass, and it's just going to give me the option of letting him be creative out there, do what he does best, and I don't necessarily have to worry about him too much. So that's why Salah was my second pick. Also thought he might go quite early, so get him in there as quick as possible. Now at this point, I think all of us kind of followed the same paths, that we all got quite scared, because when you see a couple of goalkeepers going, then everyone starts to panic and realise that there isn't that many goalkeepers in the world. So at this point, I was originally looking at going for De Gea. I felt like because he was Spanish, that would go with a couple of the other players in the team. Maybe they'd have a combined language. But unfortunately, Matt 89, the swine, took him right before me, building his Man United team for some reason. So alas, I didn't get my number one pick, but I do have Marc-Andre ter Stegen, and I'm kind of happy I managed to say that first time, because I didn't realise that I have never said ter Stegen out loud apparently, so that's quite good. But I tried and tested goalkeeper, coming out of Barcelona, straight into Oblique Ramblers, and I did have a look between him and a couple of other keepers, but I felt like just for the shot stopping, it wasn't really giving me any options here. Ter Stegen was just jumping out at me and made sure he was the keeper that I chose. Another aspect is he's got such fantastic distribution that he could just bang that ball up there right into the feet of Ronaldo, and you know Ronaldo's quite a tall guy, he'd be able to get that header in, so send it right up towards Ronaldo, or maybe we have Salah out there, he'll be creating an off the ball run, and then Ter Stegen can just land it right at his feet for a counter attack, so that is huge as well. Another really determined player, and we'll look at a couple of the different dynamics as well, but just looking at the attributes right now, and you can see why I picked Ter Stegen. It's quite obvious, and everyone who knows anything about football knows quite how good this guy is. At this point, again, you see one or two guys going, and you realise I've got nobody at full-back positions, and those can be quite hard to pick up. So my pick at this point was Joshua Kimmich, and the reason I picked Kimmich was, as far as a defender goes, on the right side, I wasn't really looking for flair, and I wasn't really looking for speed or the ability to cross or any of that kind of stuff. What I was looking for was someone that was solid. So I'm looking at things like strength, in which case we don't have the most for Kimmich. Okay, I'll admit that. I've just revealed that I didn't maybe look at that to the degree I wish I did, but he does have the tackling, and he does have the marking, and he is a very solid player in teamwork and work rate, and I feel like he's just going to be able to be a little bit of a rock for us out on that right wing, and we will keep him back. I'll keep him on support. He's not going to be attacking up through the space that Salah leaves behind. I do want him to stay back, so I don't want these mistakes to get capitalised on. So hopefully Kimmich will keep back a little bit and just be there to take anyone out that tries to beat him on that right wing. Or I guess left wing for them, I suppose. And then the next pick I made was, I believe, now that I'm looking through it, I'm not actually entirely sure who I picked next, but let's just go to the guy standing next to him, because it probably is who I picked next, just because basing it on how easy it would be for someone else to take him. We picked PK, again, a guy who's got so much experience behind him, playing at the highest level, and the reason I picked him is you need someone to be able to head that ball away, and we all know, big 6'4" player, able to head that ball miles. You're not going to be able to cross into my box without PK picking that ball up, sending it up the pitch, and making your team an absolute fool. So we've got PK there, fantastic tackling, amazing marking, so composed, got so much experience behind him. You have nothing to worry about with PK at the back. He is not going to make mistakes, and he is going to make an absolute show of every attacker in this league. You've never seen Lionel Messi having to come up against PK, and he is not going to be able to get past that strength and that size, and Lionel Messi is going to be left crying on the pitch looking like a nobody. And that is because PK is just so damn good in defence that you have no chance of being able to do anything against him. And I believe at this point now, it might have been Kolarov that we went for. And again, just because full-back and options, we already saw players like Trent Alexander-Arnold or Andy Robertson go so early into it to the Don Gaiman that I think we all got a little bit apprehensive and wanted to fill these positions right away. So we brought in Alexander Kolarov. I wasn't actually too familiar with him beforehand. I mostly seem to watch Scottish football, so we don't really get this kind of quality of player. But when you look through those attributes, he doesn't have a single one under 12 from the looks of it. I'm not sure. Yep, I can't see a single one under 12. He's just that good, that consistent, and that solid. He has an incredible crosser. He can really fire in free kicks. But really what I'm looking for out of him is he's good at tackling and he's good at marking, and again he's quite composed. He's got everything needed to be able to stop people from exploiting the right wing, and I'm hoping he's solid there. He's got 15 strength as well, so that's what we're looking for out of these players. And I think what other people will be looking for a flashy fullback, someone to run ahead, go and attack, try and exploit the other team when they're following the wingers and stuff. I'm going, nope, I'm not looking for that. I want my fullbacks to be fullbacks. None of this attacking nonsense. Keep yourself back, lay off the better players, and you keep yourself ready to tackle anybody and absolutely leave them crying on the pitch because you are solid. And then at this point, I think I went back up to the wing. And honestly, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was out when I made this pick. I was drunk. I was just trying to make a pick off the top of my head, using my phone to find out who I could get. I panicked and I went with Gareth Bale. Now, obviously, this isn't a bad pick by any means. Bale is such a fantastic player, can do it all out in the wing. He just isn't really the player that I would have been going for in this. I think I'd have been looking for someone a little bit different, but he does have a lot to him. If we send the ball up, he can head it fantastically, good crossing, dribbling. Again, he's got the exact same off the ball ability as Salah has, so that's it. He's got a bit of flair about him, so maybe he'll be doing something a bit unexpected. But what I want out of Bale is to see him crossing in and getting those headers to Cristiano Ronaldo. They've played together before. Hopefully that'll be able to build up a bit of a partnership. I'm not actually sure if Bale can speak Spanish, so I'm not sure if that is going to be an issue for us. He can speak basic Spanish, so that is really solid as well. So he should be able to communicate with everyone, and I'm hoping that makes a difference for us, because he has been playing in Real Madrid, so he should be able to get along with a couple of these players. Maybe he won't get along with the likes of Piqué and Ter Stegen, Rakitic there too. There have been guys he's gone up against, but hopefully, and if he has a manager that believes in him, unlike real life, I'm hoping we see some good things coming out of Gareth Bale on that left wing. And then I think I dropped back into defence from here and went for Thiago Silva. And again, as I'm saying with everyone, you just want someone who has that top level experience. We've been seeing Thiago Silva forever. He's constantly a solid player. Tackling and marking is just outstanding. That's really what I was looking for out of this. Another player with some good strength, and we can see he's composed, makes good decisions, concentrates, has got the right level of aggression. He's just someone that I'm very confident will be able to hold a solid line at the back and stop people from able to get past them. As this is such a league full of such world-class players, what I need are people that aren't going to make mistakes, and I feel like Thiago Silva is exactly that for me. He's not going to really leave any gaps, and he is going to be someone consistently there to stop people going forward. My next pick, and another guy I was quite surprised about that hadn't went at this point, because we're quite a few picks in by now, was Fabinho. And you see him in real life, he's so solid and such a good player in that defensive position, and I wanted someone who could drop back a little bit and add an extra level of defence. If you saw my lineup a minute ago, you'll see we are playing with two defensive midfielders, and that is going to be very different from everybody else in this league. So I'm hoping I've not made a mistake with that game plan, but I want Fabinho to really stay back, add an extra layer to the defensive midfields. He has another player, very, very strong mentals, not going to make any mistakes for us. He's going to be good at passing, good getting the ball up to the forwards. And again, the big aspect here was the tackling and the marking. If you can get past Fabinho, you have a murderer's row of defenders behind him. So we are trying to add defence upon defence at the back, many layers to how difficult it's going to be for their players to get through. And then my next pick, just to go alongside him, was Rakitic. And I've went different here than most people would go for, and I'm not entirely sure if I can pronounce the position, but I've stuck him in that Segundo Volante position, and the reason for this is I want him in attack from the back. He is going to be there for the centre midfield, he's going to be running back and forwards, and he does have the conditioning to be able to do that, but my main point is I want him running up towards that box when we need him, and I want him to be banging in those goals from a distance. He's got great long shots, good first touch, that's what we're looking for. He's just going to be someone that's a constant presence through that centre position, and we're going to be looking for him to really nail it for us there. So he is going to be right next to Fabinho, and he's just going to be running straight up, straight back, constantly, keep him a threat. And then our next pick, another guy I couldn't believe hadn't been picked, and everybody acted like it wasn't a good pick. He's too old now, he's 33 years old, maybe that's why they didn't pick him. But you've got David Silva here, who hasn't been picked, and we are on the last pick of the team. It was absolutely insane to me. But you've got David Silva here. I'm just going to keep saying David or David. I'm not too sure which one it is. Again, you don't get many Davids in the Scottish league, so I don't speak to people about Man City all that often. But yeah, you can see here he's just such an solid and creative player. I actually might change him to the Roman playmaker. I might look at that. I'm not too sure if I'm concrete here. And the reason is I just want him to go wherever he wants to go. He has all the options out there, and you're going to have Rakitic being that solid centre kind of position. So with Silva, I just want him doing whatever he feels is the best move to make out there, because he has the decisions to make it. He's got the ability to take them shots if he wants to, but the main thing I'm looking for out of him is just to be able to get those creative passes off to the likes of Salah running into the box and to Ronaldo, or maybe if the opportunity's there, get a through ball over to Bale so he can cross it in. But yeah, we just want Silva really doing anything he wants to do to make sure we have that creativity up front to be able to lay the ball off to the goal scorers. And I'm not expecting too much from him out of goal scoring. I'm just looking for him to make those goals. I want top assists, Silva, by the end of this. That's my goal there. And that leaves us nicely on to the defenders. And I'll go through them just in order, the defenders, because I can't really remember who I picked. But I was really surprised that no one had picked Hugo Lloris for their goalkeeper. And I think I've definitely got the best substitute goalkeeper out of anybody. Of course I do, is Lloris. He's not even going to be playing for me, and I've got him as a backup. This is insane. I don't know why no one picked him. He's a World Cup winner, for God's sake. So I don't know what's happened with Lloris, but I am very happy to take him in. You never know what's going to happen. Ter Stegen could break his leg, be out for the whole season, and then I've got Lloris as a backup. No one else in this competition can say they have as solid a backup as my goalkeeper. I have not researched that point. That is just me saying that off the top of my head, but I'm hoping it's true anyways. And you know what, if anything happens, Lloris is half decent with a free kick as well, so we've got something out of that. But yeah, he's the backup goalkeeper, and I'm really thinking he's able to do something. Next is Emre Can, and again, I don't know a ton about him. I do know that he played for Liverpool for a bit, and that's kind of all I know, but he is just a very diverse option at the back. He can play the wings, he can play the centre, he can move up into that defensive midfielder position if he's needed to. He's got great physical skill, he's got good tackling, and yeah, I'm looking for him to be my substitute centre back mostly, because he has the marking and tackling, and probably hope that he doesn't come on for PK a lot. It would definitely be Thiago Silva that I'm looking for him to replace. But yeah, just a very, very good all-round player who isn't going to make mistakes, and I just want that kind of super sub to come on. So I'm hoping Emre can. I'm hoping he'll be able to come on and just be able to add that layer and give us some rotation if we need it. Next we have Alan, and I had to look up Alan. I had no idea who he was, to be honest, but when I saw him and I saw that tackling and that marking, especially that tackling, 18 tackling, that is absolutely insane. He's the best tackler in the team, I think. And I was looking for him to just basically be the substitute for Fabinho. It looks like he is capable if I do want him ever to come on for Rakitic, and that will be down to the assistant manager to make that decision for me. But he's so strong, he's got so much strength in tackling. Great mentals, like 16 teamwork, 16 positioning, his composure's good, got good decisions as well, he's very aggressive. This is all exactly the stats that I wanted to see out of someone, especially because this is a sub and he's got all these stats, so it's absolutely fantastic. I haven't been looking at the personalities as much. I'm not, to be honest, guys, I don't really know too much about the personalities. It's not something I've really looked into in the game, so I know I am going to have a problem when I'm coming up against the likes of Old Lady Plays, who has really looked into that. Everyone, I'm hoping, has some good things. I don't see Model Citizen with anyone, and that is apparently the one to look out for. I'm just saying that because I've watched everyone else's videos, but I'm hoping I haven't made a mistake by not paying attention to that. We also have one of two Musas in the team, and this is Musa, I'm going to say Vage. Not entirely sure if I'm saying that correctly, but if we just say I am, that's fantastic. He is ranked as a wonder kid in this game. I don't really know any of the wonder kids, as if you know my Journeyman series, I'm playing with Call of Ramblers. We don't get a ton of wonder kids down at that level, but the reason I picked Vag, or Vage, I'll just say Vag from now on. The reason I picked Vag, and I bet that's incorrect. If it is incorrect, tell me in the comments below, because I'm probably going to get a lot of these names incorrect, so I'm going to have to be able to learn them as I go, as to not annoy the linguist herself, Old Lady Plays. So the idea of Vage here is he can play both sides, and that was really my only criteria. He is quite fast. He's probably slightly less defensive than some other options that I've got, but the idea here was just to have someone that can come on and take those roles if needed, and just be able to replace those players. He has okay tackling and okay marking, which isn't too bad. He is a bit pacier than the other ones, but I'm hoping that he is able to just be a consistent performer if he needs to come on in the game. He hasn't got a ton of experience in the pro world, so I'm hoping it's not a mistake to bring him into such an experienced team. Hopefully the rest of the players can bring him up a little bit. But then we're on to Leon Bailey, and he is a fantastic player in real life. And another young player, I'm thinking for these subs, I've brought in a few more young players than I actually thought, so hopefully they learn a lot being in this team. And again, the idea of Leon Bailey is he can play both sides, and that's really, especially as an inverted winger on the right side, because if he's coming in, he'll be coming in for Salah on that side, and we'll have that will be set as inverted winger, so that is good that he can play left wing and inverted on the right. And again, just great dribbling, decent crossing, very, very, very fast. Yeah, that's exactly the stats we're looking for out of him. Just good technical player, really good to get past people, and he is a sub for two amazing players, and I'm hoping that if we need him and he is called upon, he has that sort of ability to get past defenders and get into the box. And that leads us on nicely to a player I actually don't like. I will be honest with you, in real life, I am not an Ozil fan at all. I have never been. Any time that I played Real Madrid saves back in the day, Ozil was the first guy in the chopping block, along with Benzema, weirdly, who's still in the team. I don't know how that's going on. I don't follow it as much, but the reason we picked up Ozil here is just because he, again, can add some depth out in the wings, but if we need someone to come in for Silva, he has all the tools to do it. Extremely technical, fantastic vision, and he has all of the stats to be able to lay off a player that's going in for attack, just like Silva, and as for a sub to be able to do that stuff is incredible. Brilliant off the ball, amazing flair, great decisions, anticipation. That's exactly the kind of stuff we need to get those passes through. So I'm hoping to see some fantastic through balls when Ozil comes on as a sub, and hopefully he is coming on in that centre attacking midfielder position. And the final one, almost everyone has a little passion project in their teams, someone that's got a little bit of sentiment, and for me, a Celtic fan, I have brought on Moussa Dembele into my team. He was a Celtic legend for one season, and I would have brought in Odson Edward, but Keebs has picked him up previously. That's his star striker, so it had to be Dembele, so I brought him in. He's been playing for Leon, scoring goals for fun, and I know in real life a lot of big people are looking at him, and he is now signed to Oblique Ramblers with us. He's a solid solid striker. He's not at the calibre of a lot of the other strikers, and there was better options, but I'm hoping that he just has the finishing, that if he's needed and he is in that centre position, that we have the guys that can set the ball at his feet and then he can put it into the goals. He's got good off the ball and good finishing, and hopefully that's really all he might need in this level. He can head the ball as well, so that's good if someone wants to cross it in. So I'm hoping that Dembele isn't a mistake as a passion player, and hopefully that's okay as a sub from like 70 minutes on. Now, I'll say one of the main concerns of my team, and I think with all of the teams, is what we have. So this is my starting lineup, and I've went through it and everything, but I don't know if my assistant manager necessarily has the same vision for the team that I do, because I have a feeling that we are going to see Dembele as my starting striker, and then Cristiano Ronaldo dropping into Bale's position quite often, and I have a feeling that we're going to be seeing that a lot, which really that's not what I'm going to want as well. That's definitely not what I want to starting. And also, Rakitic might get swapped out a bit, so if they're planning this, they might go Can starting lineup in that position, which isn't the worst in the world, but I would prefer Rakitic. I just think that even if he isn't as comfortable in the position as Can, he does have every tool to be able to really nail it from that role. So we have a couple of concerns about the team, but hopefully we have the experience and we have the quality and the strength needed to be able to dominate this league, really. And other teams are quite young. We have all that strength about us. I haven't really picked all my tactics, so I won't go through them right now, but I'm looking for possession, I'm looking for calmness, control, and I'm looking that if I send the ball up to that triangle at the front, I don't need to worry about them. They have it about them to get the ball in the goals. What I'm looking at for my tactics is to focus on the defence. I want the lowest amount of goals into me out of every single team, and that's a lot to ask for out of them, but I think I've managed to assemble the defence to be able to do that. I haven't really looked at the hierarchy coming into this, but we have so many team leaders to begin with here. That's amazing. Ronaldo, Silva, and Piqué. That is fantastic. Lloris is actually a model citizen. That's pretty interesting. But he isn't going to be starting lineup, so I'm not looking at him as a captain. But we have some really good balance throughout here. I'm not too happy about the other players, but again, we're looking at the young guys who hasn't played a ton at the highest level, so that kind of makes sense. I'm hoping that it stays roughly about this. I don't want the top level guys being like, I wouldn't like Lloris to become a team leader because he might start complaining about his playtime and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that shouldn't be too bad. It does say that all of our team leaders are approaching the end of their career. I think a lot of people will be approaching the end of their career. So if we do have a second season of this, there will be some big decisions for me to make, but I'm hoping I can boss this league, and hopefully that will be pretty good for us going forward. So again, touching on something I said earlier, I kind of wanted roughly the same few countries, or at least the same few languages throughout the team. So you have the likes of the Brazilian players like Alan, Thiago Silva, yeah. So we've got the likes of Thiago Silva, Alan, and Cristiano Ronaldo, who can all speak Portuguese. I'm not too sure how the game works with Portuguese and Spanish, if those players can also speak a little bit of Spanish. Actually, I'll check that now. So if we go to someone like Thiago Silva, for example, because I know the languages in real life have some similarities, so he can't even speak Spanish. That's quite interesting. So I wonder if that's going to be something I've not thought of that's going to be an issue. So we've got the guys that can speak Spanish, the guys that can speak Portuguese, a couple of guys can speak German, and a couple of guys can speak French. So I'm hoping they can get together in small groups and stuff like that, and it'll be okay. Everyone is in a social group, and it looks like we're generally split on the age. So the old players are all best buds, mostly, and then we have a couple of players, and I like that in the second group we have Silva and Piqué both in that one, because they should be able to give us some really good talks with the young players like Vag, Dembele and Bailey, so hopefully that really pays off for them. So yeah, that is essentially my team going forward, and I took a lot of stick for this team. I was like the only team that no one was saying, oh, fantastic pick, Oblique, that was really good. No one cared about my team, no one gave me any credit whatsoever, and I feel I've got a chip on my shoulder now. I have a grudge to take, and I don't care which team has the youngest age, I don't care which team has the best opportunity to develop throughout the season. You kids are not going to know what's hit you. You kids have been looking up to these players and you think you've learned everything by watching them, but they have a few tricks up their sleeve that you are not expecting, and as a result, I am going to reign supreme throughout this league. You guys are going to be jealous of my fantastic, experienced, well-aged, like a fine wine team. You are going to be sad that you did not pick these players, because these players have what it takes to win leagues, and that's exactly what we are going to do. So that's it for today's episode. I am Oblique Gaming, and this is the CCL. Hopefully you're already interested in this, but if not, have a little look at our intro, get an idea of what's expected in this league, and going forward in our next episode, we're going to look at kind of the whole landscape of the leagues, have a little look at our teams, what people are expecting, kind of introduction for each team. I'll be doing that a little bit less biasedly as in this video, so I'll just be more of a host in that one. I'll try and keep my passion for winning this aside as best as I can, and we'll look through them, and then following that we'll start to get into the games. So thanks for watching today, I really appreciate it. We're really excited and hope this becomes something amazing, and hopefully you are subscribed by now, but if not, drop it down below, open up that description, click on the links of the other people involved and give them a sub too, because they'll be dropping content constantly throughout this as well. Thanks for watching today guys, and we will see you